folks. Welcome to another sparkling interview on Spark Igniting Minds. Today, we are honored to have a distinguished guest with us, Dr. Mangayakarasi, with over 32 years of experience in teaching English literature. Dr. Mangayakarasi has profoundly influenced the academic world through her deep knowledge and passion for the subject. She has made significant contributions to the field with numerous international research papers, including her work on English language teaching for sustainable development and reimagining teaching, learning, and assessment in the 21st century. Dr. Mangayakarasi is also a dedicated coordinator for the English Language Teachers Association, where she plays a pivotal role in organizing panel discussions and conferences across the country, fostering a vibrant community of educators. In this episode, we will explore the nuances of English as a communication tool. Get ready for an engaging discussion that promises to enhance your understanding of English as a powerful medium of communication. Namaskara, Dr. Mangayakarasi. I am extremely pleased today to have you here on Spark Interviews. You being instrumental in bringing all the English teachers of India and giving English training to all the students of India is such a commendable job. I welcome you, Dr. Mangayakarasi, to Spark Igniting Minds.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your warm welcome. And I'm happy to share my experience with you all through Spark Igniting Minds interview series. I'm so happy to interact with you this morning with solid inputs for the young generation, the future generation, to integrate English language in their routine.
Oh, so nice. That is a fantastic mission that you have taken on, Dr. Mangayakarasi. My first question to you is, English has become the world's lingua franca or the global lingua franca, and it has connected many backgrounds and many cultures. With this, what will be the role of evolution with the rise of digital communications?
That's a good question, ma'am.
Yeah.
Young learners, they are really smart.
Yes.
They use gadgets, and we have ChatGPT and all those new introduction.
Correct.
That would really help them to converse in English, to use English in a proper way. Earlier, they had limited resources. Now, after exposing our learners for 12 years, they were unable to speak English. They were unable to express themselves properly in English. That was our concern when I started as a professor in a college.
Okay.
So I was thinking, and I belong to an association called English Language Teachers Association of India. It has a long legacy, 50 years old association. All of us as teachers, when we network, when we interact with each other in a forum, in a workshop, in a seminar, our concern is to make our learners to express themselves in English fluently.
Right.
Without any inhibition, any shyness or fear.
Yes.
So, as a teacher, as a professor, I just wanted to simplify that for our learners, without any shyness or fear. So when I was just thinking, training them, immersing them into it, to make them think in English. Earlier, they followed grammar translation method.
Right.
Now, we have to immerse them in English, just like any other gadget. They have to express clearly in English,
Yes.
without any inhibition or anything. So that was our concern. With
Like
that,
as they say, as man thinketh. Okay, so as man thinketh, the thoughts come to them.
Okay.
So if they think in a certain language, I think they can express it very fluently in that language.
Exactly.
Language is a roadmap for culture, and we know from where people are coming and where they are going. So, how does English language facilitate this cultural exchange, and what impact does it have on the global community?
That's a wonderful question, ma'am. Actually,
Yeah.
when we come from different backgrounds, different cultures,
Yes.
nowadays we talk English.
Correct.
We connect our culture, Indian culture itself, into
Yeah.
English.
There are more
the language.
colloquial words which come into
Yes,
English
even
also.
in
Yes.
Cambridge dictionary, new coinages were allowed.
Right.
It was allowed. Earlier, we talked about the influence of the author.
Okay.
Shakespeare's influence, Milton, and all those famous authors. Now, even Tom, Dick, and Harry, they can coin something and they can introduce that
Yes.
through Cambridge University dictionary or anything. It's accepted, globally accepted.
Yes.
So we are into that generation.
Like
now.
many words
Many
from Indian languages itself has come into English.
Okay.
Like you may call guru, like dharma, like you may call. So there are so many things like that.
Yes,
Our
ma'am.
karma
Yes, ma'am.
theory.
Yes, ma'am.
So a lot of these words have just sank into the English language and has become a part of that language, isn't it? So?
Exactly,
Yeah.
ma'am. Exactly. For that, translation studies played a pivotal role.
Correct.
In India, many authors are there. They wanted to express that in English, but to retain the cultural flavor, they introduce the same thing and they make others accept that as part of that work of art.
Right.
So when so that becomes the usage of any other Indian English users, and then that has transformed into Indian English.
So the cultures play a big role.
Pivotal role. Here.
Pivotal role,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
shaping up the language or bringing up or making it more conversational. Like once George Bernard Shaw had said that the biggest single problem is in effective communication is the illusion that takes place.
Exactly.
Okay, so what do you want to say the essentials of effective communication, and how can one really convey their feelings or their thoughts in a very smooth manner?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is related to verbal and non-verbal communication, ma'am.
Okay.
To be an effective communicator, you have to integrate both verbal and non-verbal communication.
Okay.
In non-verbal communication, there are gestures and you can use symbols and all those stuff. That's really wonderful. When you integrate both, it will become effective communication. When you express your emotion, even a tear can express something.
Yeah.
Even silence expresses a lot of things to you.
Correct.
So, to be a effective communicator, you have to be good at verbal and non-verbal communication.
Yeah, maybe like eye contact.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe is one of the effective communication. So you have to keep your eye in contact with the person you are speaking or with the audience you are speaking, and also the body language and also the gestures, as you said. And there are many other cues I think for an effective communication.
Yes.
So these elements, I think people have to follow.
Exactly, ma'am. As a language learner, we have to start with sounds.
Okay.
Initially, in our education system, we started with the alphabet. That's a wrong move. Actually, we have to start with sounds. When we start with sounds, we can learn any number of languages.
Okay.
You'll be an effective communicator. When you start with sounds, you can express yourself and you can talk like a native speaker. That would be the dream of anybody. As we connect English into our personality, we have to use sounds properly.
Yeah,
First,
like
we should
earlier
learn
when we
sounds.
were children, okay, we used to say A, B, C, D. Now, in the schools, in the international schools and in most of the schools in Bangalore, they have started teaching alphabets with phonetics.
Exactly.
Phonetic sounds.
That's a right approach. That's the right approach.
Smooth flow of the language.
Exactly.
Isn't it so?
Yes.
Because the tongue rolls in a certain way and they know how the English words should come out with the correct tone and correct cadence. So language evolution, considering how rapidly English has grown with I can say with the advent of digital and technology and all those things, what changes do you observe as an English professor in today's youth?
Today's youth, they are really smart in social media. As a frequent user of social media, and I have different accounts, professional account and personal account, and I have an account in Instagram too. When we see, they are technically sound. And now they are good at integrating ChatGPT too.
Right.
So it's simple for them to integrate language into it and present it well. Integration of technology and language is the need of the hour. So now they are smart. As smart learners, they integrate both and they express well through audiovisual aids.
Okay.
So I
think because all of us, we have a mother tongue, and learning a new language is a challenge in itself. It's not that easy. So English is a new language that they have to learn, though they are, taught from the nursery itself to start speaking in schools. Like maybe in some of the bigger schools, yes. The child learns to speak in English from a very, very young age. But the speakers of rural schools, where English is only a first language and they are not taught in English. So, what are the barriers for them and how can they really overcome it?
Okay. For them, as I already mentioned, in their mother tongue, they can express freely.
Yes.
To make them think in English, we have to expose them to different, what shall I say, music and other things. Even in our college, many of the institutions, they give them some music, some songs. We ask them to interpret the words used in the songs and all. Like that, we have to give them some activity-based projects and other things. We have to make them participate in that.
Yeah.
It should come spontaneously.
Yeah.
So there are so many ways, so many projects going on to make rural learners to talk in English. English is not a new language. That becomes a part and parcel of our routine.
Daily upbringing.
Routine. So, it is so simple. And it is up to the teacher to make learners speak in English without any fear or shyness.
Yeah, one challenge is fear or shyness.
Yeah.
They have to overcome with that. The second is the cultural background in which they are brought up, and even the school matters, and how do they converse with their friends or teachers. All that matters, and they may be from a very poor background. They can't afford a TV. They are not used to listen to English. Is it not so? I think these are all the
Earlier.
barriers which.
Yes, ma'am. These are all the barriers they had.
Yeah.
Now they have a gadget in their hand. They can do anything. They
Yeah,
can do
everybody
wonders.
has a
They
phone.
can make use of that gadget.
Yes.
Earlier, it was not permitted in schools and colleges.
Okay.
After this COVID, all of them, they know how to use it and how to use it to learn anything.
Correct.
Even dance class happens through virtually. Everything, even all skills can be acquired through a virtual mode.
Okay.
Why not English?
Right. You're absolutely right in that. You have been into the intricacies of English, teaching intricacies of English to the students. So, what practical tips would you like to give to both the professionals and also to the students who wants to master this language?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mastering is a different one.
Okay.
To use,
Ah.
we can make them users of English language.
Right.
To use that English language, as teachers, we have to give them some tips. We have to give some medium to use that language spontaneously. For that, we have to make it interesting. Every day we should make it interesting. In our class, we ask our learners to come up with recipe. They have to give that recipe in English.
Okay.
As it's women's college,
Yeah.
for kids, for different age groups, it is the teacher's responsibility to make it interesting, and it is our responsibility to make them talk in English.
Yeah.
To present themselves in English without anything, without any external force or anything. It should come spontaneously. To make it interesting, we have to give them different tasks and ask them to explain in
What
simple
kind
English.
of tasks do you give them?
We can give them some video, and we can ask them to give voiceover to that. And if we give some material to them, even in our class, I ask them to see the newspaper and read.
Okay.
When they read it aloud, they'll be confident.
Right.
And along with tone, pause, voice modulation, and other things, you have to expose them to that. And the same thing, when they repeat it in class, they feel confident.
Yeah.
And
I think we have to encourage.
Yeah.
Even if
It
they
is,
make mistakes, we should not make fun of them or mock them,
Yes.
and allow them to speak and try to correct them.
Yeah, that's
So
right. That's
that
right,
is,
ma'am. Even in a class, if we give them some project, a team project or something, if they explain the process of that work given in English as a team, they can observe, and we can make the team members to comment, not commenting, to come back with the feedback. And in that way, they'll be confident. And if we give them group tasks, assign them group tasks, each one of them learn from each other. At the same time, we just inculcate the habit of working in team.
correct. So you give them group tasks, you give them videos, you give them a process and ask them to explain it, or you can give a situation and ask them to enact, or you can make two people talk as friends, something very, very natural, maybe about weather, maybe about that is how you start.
Even when we give them a group task, if they ask them to shoot and come with a video, with a voiceover and everything, they're really good.
Yeah.
They do a wonderful job.
Correct.
For tertiary level learners, we give it like this. Even for at the school level, if we give them some task, interesting task like this, certainly they'll come up. They'll come out of their shell. That's what
And one more last question I would like to ask you, because English is a foreign language. Okay, though we like listen to news, then try to talk in English, and try so many several methods, we cannot match the native speakers. Like our English, there is always an inhibition. Even after so many years of learning, still people shy away to speak in English or feel very difficult. They struggle to speak in English. So why do you think this is so?
It's not.
And
To me, it's not a foreign language at all.
Yeah.
I started with English.
Okay.
So our learners, they're really good.
Oh.
Now we have come out of all the barriers. Now it is not a foreign language. It's a second language. And we do learn other languages too. Our learners, they are getting into learning other foreign languages. When they get into learn other foreign languages, English is simple for them.
Okay.
So, this generation certainly they'll learn and don't talk like native speakers. Native speakers are different. They have different dialects. When we get into that, when we explore into that, there are different dialects. Even in our mother tongue, even in our regional language, there are different dialects. And talking like native speakers is gone. Talking like
an Indian. I think Indian English is accepted everywhere in the world.
We are trying to come up with Indian theories.
Okay.
Indian theories suitable to our learners.
Right.
Earlier we followed British theories.
Yes.
Which was framed by Britishers, which was framed by English. English theorists.
Yeah.
Now we are capable of framing our own theories.
Yeah.
Why don't we come up with our own theories and juxtapose that?
I think Indian accent is very good and accepted world over.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Mangayakarasi, for that wonderful insights that you have given on English language and how to practice it and what are the inhibitions and how to come out of it and be a fluent speaker. And this you have been doing it throughout your career. And I think with this, people with the digital rise also, they are becoming more fluent, and English has become, since it is a universal language, they are trying to cope up with it and speak very, very naturally and very fluently. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this, for the experience and the insights that you have shared with us today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.